When I played Lincoln, now I don't look like Abraham Lincoln. I do not look like him. But by God, I was going to look like him. I was going to look exactly like him. Because I could sit down in front of a makeup mirror, and by George, I could do it. So I played Lincoln a couple times on the stage, quite successfully. It isn't a matter of just putting on a nose, you know. It's hard to describe, but I worked very hard to create first the eyes are very deep set. The eyes are sunken, deep set. The cheekbones are very high. The jawbone is sharp, you know. The eyes have a certain quality of darkness. These are all things that you have to work with. You work with shadow and color, or prosthetic pieces if you have them. In those days we didn't. And you come up, I have some pictures around here of myself as Lincoln upstairs, you know. It's really quite extraordinary. I mean, you would never know it's me. That's private. But I mean, you think it's Abraham Lincoln. I was going to be Abraham Lincoln. He was 6 feet 3 3/4 inches high. 6 feet 3 3/4 inches high. I didn't fool around. When I played a character, I researched them. Some actors play Lincoln, and they get a boot, and they put a sole on the boot about 2 feet high and call themselves Lincoln. I had boots made, and I had the lift on the inside of the boot, because it's a boot. And I had a 2-inch or 2.5-inch lift inside of the boot. Nobody could see it. Nobody. I knew it was there, but that's it. And then maybe the sole was a little thicker, because in those days in the country, the sole was a little thicker and the heel was. So I'd get up to 6 foot 3 3/4 inches. Height. Abraham Lincoln was short-waisted. He was long-legged, and he was short-waisted. From the waist to here, he was short-waisted. His shoulders were narrow and sloping, but narrow, and his arms were long. It gave him a big advantage in wrestling matches, you know. These are all things that are important about Abraham Lincoln. And people who try to play Abraham Lincoln don't know. They make me so angry. I can't even stand to look at them. Because it's all part of being Abraham Lincoln. You cannot play a man 6 foot 3 3/4 inches high, short-waisted, with long arms, who was used to fighting when he was younger, who was used to lifting things, because in those days you had to lift. You lifted things. You can't play a man who does that and walk around like we do today. You can't do it. He picked things up. He'd go to move that table, he'd pick the whole goddamn table up. You're not afraid of lifting things. It's important to know these things. And you can create a character on the stage by the way you lift things, by the way you move, by the way you pick things up. One of my earliest what I would call achievements. Harold Clurman, whom you guys probably don't even know who he was. Harold Clurman was one of the greatest theater people we ever had in this country. He was a member of the group and all, but still he was independent. He wrote books. And he was a theater critic for the Nation. And one of my first appearances in New York after Twain was to play Abraham Lincoln for the Phoenix Theater off Broadway. And I did the whole scene. I really worked on that part, and I walked out on stage and I was Lincoln. I startled people. And Harold Clurman was in the audience, and he understood what I was doing because he was really a good theater man. He understood why I picked a chair up a certain way to show that I was strong. He understood the movements, and he said in his review, I was a nobody. I had been Mark Twain, but now I was, he said, this young man is an actor. I never had anybody say anything in a review that meant more to me than that line by Harold Clurman, this young man is an actor. He said it because he recognized what I was doing. And I don't know how I started in on all this, but that movement and characterization, makeup, and everything is all part. It's not a joke, it's not funny, it's not like, it's serious. It's as serious as going to war.